What's good? We back with the Boston Clinic. About to go on a little roll of videos real quick. Let's jump right into it. Somebody asked a question. I guess I'll do the video on it. Just some talk about why Manny Pacquiao had to go to Australia to face Jeff Horn, and Terence Crawford didn't have to go to Australia. He gets Jeff Horn in Vegas. And the reason this is for the simple fact that Manny Pacquiao refused to face Terence Bud Crawford on several occasions. He even went so far to tell Bob Arum that he wanted $20 million just to face Jeff Horn. And we all know he's not a $20 million type of guy. He made $10 million fighting Jeff Horn. He cherry-picked Jeff Horn because he believed he would beat Jeff Horn. He didn't do any film study on Jeff Horn. Didn't train hard for Jeff Horn. And Pacquiao got bit in the butt. And what people say, Pacquiao got robbed versus Jeff Horn. No, Pacquiao robbed himself of getting beat by Jeff Horn. He didn't train hard. Nobody in his staff even watched film of Jeff Horn. Real film. They thought it was an easy fight. He was an easy lick. And they went in the fight, and they got a tougher fight than they expected, especially after the 9th round where he put a hurting on Jeff Horn, and Jeff Horn didn't go anywhere. And Bob Arum had been scouting Jeff Horn for quite some time, and he handpicked him to face Manny Pacquiao after watching him face Randall Bailey. And the reason he wanted to watch him face Randall Bailey to see if he was durable enough to take a shot. And Randall Bailey, still to this day, is one of the pound-for-pound hardest punching guys out there. We remember that one shot he knocked out, promising welterweight Mike Jones, which we ain't heard nothing from. He was with Top Rank and knocked him out with one punch. And Horn was eating punches from Randall Bailey. And I think that was enough for Bob Arum to match him up with Pacquiao. The whole point of Pacquiao going to Australia, to a foreign country, the selling points was that it was the biggest fight in the country's history. And it was going to pull in a lot of revenue, a lot of money. Because Bob Arum don't dig in his pockets for none of his fighters, And they was telling Pacquiao, they basically gave Pacquiao the offer like, this is the most money you could fighting Jeff Horn in Australia. Pacquiao thought it was an easy fight, and Pacquiao was getting set up. And I guess, he didn't care because you had to see it from a mile away. I mean, we all knew why he was getting set up. It was people who really know, how Bob Arum is. Well, he just thought it was an easy lick. And, Pacquiao gonna make excuses after the fight anyway. He know what he was going into that war zone to do. He's going into Jeff Horn foxhole to lose. And when he lost that belt, instantly, Bob Arum knew he wanted to put Crawford in the mix. And you were like, how did you know that? As far as, he knew Horn was going to win. They gave Pacquiao a rematch clause. But the rematch clause stated that Australia was the first place, well, at least the first venue to place a bid. So they had to use they had to hear Australia bid out, and if Australia was the highest bidder, the fight had to go down to Australia. And I never seen a rematch clause that the champion had to go to the challenger's home once again in a rematch clause. And it was a clause in a contract for Pacquiao to go back to Australia versus Horn again if Australia had the best offer, and Australia had the best offer again. And Pacquiao said, no way, Jose. He tried to get in the Philippines and all this. With speculation about Pacquiao, contract being up with Bob Arum at Top Rank. But that wasn't true. He's still with Top Rank, despite, fighting a whole bunch of times under that same contract. But what the deal is with that is, before I get to the real issue in the video, is the fact that Bob Arum fronts him advances. And Floyd Mayweather said he knows. He knows because basically, I guess Bob did him the same. Well, he just knows the business. He fronts him advances and probably puts a lot of interest rates on him paying back those advances. And it's said that Pacquiao was definitely in the hole with Bob Arum still. So he got to keep fighting to pay Bob Arum off, So that's sad if that's the truth. But the truth is this. They wanted that title belt away from Pacquiao because he refused to defend it versus Terence Crawford and passed the torch to Terence Crawford and his casual fan base and his overall fan base to Terence Crawford. When he refused to fight Terence Crawford, they brought somebody else in that can get the belt from Pacquiao. He got the belt, so now Jeff Horn and Crawford is fighting in Las Vegas. They fought in Las Vegas because they want Terence Crawford to win. They want everything to be in Crawford's favor. The country, the gloves. He gonna have everything A-side. Jeff Horn is just a pawn in this game. You know, he's the pawn that's being used to force Manny Pacquiao to come back and fight Terence Crawford. Because now that if Crawford gets that belt, and we know the Top Rank is known to just work with the WBO for the most part, that Pacquiao is ranked highly in the WBO, and now he's gonna have to take the Terence Crawford fight for Bob Arum's price. So if he either take the Terence Crawford fight or basically retire and pay what he owed to Bob. And he's going to be forced to take the Terence Crawford fight if he can come back and beat, I guess, Constantine Poirier. That's who they want to fight. It was said to be Mike Alvarado. So Pacquiao have a tune-up fight in April. Expect Crawford and Pacquiao on ESPN pay-per-view later this year if they both beat, they were next opponents. And that's what it is. It ain't no complicated rocket science behind it. It was, he was set up for the overplay, for the underplay, whatever you want to say. But don't forget the links in the description. The Facebook page link is in there. And, if you want to donate or you want to head over to the tech page and learn how to get your free boxing on, head over there. But it's your boy CJ. We go.